Let's follow up on Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was a 17-year-old African-American boy in Florida who was shot by George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman has not yet been charged. We have been seeing an explosion of the change.org petition up close to or maybe already past 1 million signatures calling for the prosecution of George Zimmerman. Incredible, Lewis, isn't it?
It's quite a response, yeah.
At the same time, it makes perfect sense. Who wouldn't be signing that petition? Well, you know who might not be signing the petition? Members of the Sanford Police Department. We've started to research the Sanford Police Department, Lewis, and there is actually a little bit of a history of racially charged or potentially racially charged crimes which have gone unprosecuted, really completely unattended by the Sanford Police Department. We have now video, which I'll play for you in a second, of Justin Collison, who's the son of a Sanford police officer, who was caught on camera sucker punching a homeless man named Sherman Ware on December 4th of 2010. The officers on the scene did not arrest him that night. An internal investigation cleared all of the officers of any wrongdoing, according to the Orlando Sentinel. And it was only on January 3rd of 2011 that Collison voluntarily turned himself in. And oddly enough, he agreed to pay for Ware's medical bills and make donations to several nonprofits. No action by the police department, Lewis. Let's take a look at that video, and you'll see he goes up behind this homeless man and knocks him out with a punch to the side of the head. Take a look at this video. Take a listen. Okay, so this is the guy here who we have still framed. There is precedent here, Lewis, at the Sanford Police Department that we need to be looking into. And this story, we covered it Monday. At that time, it really had only been covered in any real way once or twice by MSNBC. We were starting to see it grow online. Yesterday, almost all of Lawrence O'Donnell's one-hour program on MSNBC was focused on this story. I think it only makes perfect sense that this continue to become a bigger and bigger story. And I feel like sometimes people are desensitized to this. And they say, oh yeah, there's racism. Some police departments are racist. Some individuals are racist. It's a right-wing nut, George Zimmerman, who was part of this militia-like neighborhood watch. And people are desensitized, but they don't realize this is a 17-year-old kid with Skittles who was just walking around, and he's dead. And the guy hasn't been arrested.
Yeah, I think it's easy to remove yourself from it, to feel detached when you're seeing stories like this all the time. Of course, not quite, I guess, not quite like of this magnitude all the time, but over the years, there have been tons of them. There
have been. And, you know, we have to be clear, this isn't about this kind of bleeding heart liberal kind of make yourself feel good that you're supporting the black kid type of thing. I mean, this really isn't about that. That exists, right? I don't deny that exists. This goes way beyond that. I mean, what we're talking here about a crime which is just not really being prosecuted. I do believe eventually George Zimmerman will be arrested, will be charged, and hopefully will be brought to justice, because this is just so egregious, and we're starting to see the investigations at the state and federal level go. So, I mean, Natan, do you think, do you agree eventually this is going to be handled?
I hope so. I mean, certainly it's just a question of justice being done. Hopefully not only will the guy be brought to justice, but also the police department.
Right. It's a two-sided investigation now that really we need to be doing.
Right. Obviously, you have to tackle corruption in the police department, too, which is, let's face it, rampant across the whole country.
All right. Even though individually most cops are good cops, that doesn't mean that there aren't instances of corruption all over the place.
All over the place.
And by the way, I'm not ignoring the effing Coon audio. We just haven't been able to authenticate it independently yet. Yesterday, some additional audio came out. It was a different version of one of the 911 calls than the police had released, which indicated George Zimmerman appearing to say effing Coon when referring to Trayvon Martin. The reason I'm not talking about it more extensively is that there's a question about whether what went on is that the police had doctored that to remove that part in part of a cover-up, okay, or whether it was simply added later by someone else to make it seem like there were more racial comments in the 911 calls to outrage people. I don't know yet, and I apologize that both of those scenarios can't be right.
Right.
Eventually we will find out, hopefully. As of right now, though, I don't feel comfortable going forward and saying that is definitely an authentic part of that videotape. I'm aware of it. We just don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? I find it unlikely that it would be added, because how do you add?
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't really sound like the guy. The effing was bleeped, and the Coon part sounds kind of very, very muffled, where I can't say for sure that it's even George Zimmerman's voice. If you hear it, you'll see that it's questionable.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Interesting.
We'll keep following it.